Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new, welcome. September has flown by and I cannot believe I'm sitting down to film my end of the month September Candle Empties. I outdid myself this month and went past my goal of 20 to 25 and I believe I hit 33 candle empties. So without further ado, let's hop into this empties video. Starting with the wax melts, I made it through a pack of Kringle's Pink Chiffon Parfait and Peony. I absolutely love this fragrance. I did do a dedicated review of the candle here on the channel in the 2-wick format. Loved it in the wax melts, loved it in the candle so much that I repurchased it. So I have one more 2-wick in my stash to burn through next spring. I couldn't wait to melt through Tomato Vine. I was eyeing this wax melt from Virgil over at South of Sanity when he showed the label. Absolutely love this one. 1 cube on my tea light warmer was between a 6 to a 6.5. So to get it to fill up my whole entire open concept, I placed 1 cube in my dining room, 1 in my living room, and it performed at a solid 7. It wasn't overwhelming. Nice, authentic tomato vine scent. Definitely will repurchase this again. And lastly, we have Gain Moonlight Breeze. I like the original Gain scent more than this one. This one was nice. It was strong, but not as strong as the green wax melt. So this one I would only purchase one time. I absolutely love the one that smells like the laundry detergent. So that is the one that I would purchase moving forward if I happen to come across it again. I made it through 5 room sprays. Up first, we have Linen and Lavender. I absolutely love this fragrance when it was out in candle form. And anytime it comes out in the room spray, I always pick it up. I normally gravitate towards fresh, clean scents for my room sprays because I always place them in my bathroom area. So as long as Linen and Lavender is around, I would definitely repurchase it. Another one that I love, Fresh Balsam. Love it in the candle, love it in the hand soap, and love it in the room spray. I think I purchased 3 of these last year, and I'm down to 1 more, but it's about to come back out again, so I will definitely restock on this one. Sun Drenched Linen is another fave of mine. Fell in love with this one in the candle. As a matter of fact, Sun Drenched Linen was one of the first fresh, clean candle fragrances that I ever picked up from Bath & Body Works. And from then I fell in love with all of the laundry scents, fresh, clean laundry scents that Bath & Body Works released. But absolutely love Sun Drenched Linen and definitely would repurchase it. Lakeside Morning. This room spray was a beast, just like the candle. Now, I haven't had the new White Barn packaging Lakeside Morning. I'm hearing that the Strength and Throw is not as strong on that candle anymore as it used to be. But this room spray was powerful. So if you want a nice, strong, fresh, clean, blow your nose off your face fragrance, then Lakeside Morning is a good one to pick up. Anytime it's available, I will always repurchase it. And then I didn't know I had 2 of these. Sun Drenched Linen, another Sun Drenched Linen was empty. Moving on to the candles, I'm going to just pull them out at random. We have Saltwater Taffy from Kringle. Saltwater Taffy has notes of sea salt, sugar, vanilla, strawberry, fruit, and sweet. Beautiful burn on this candle. This performed at a strong medium to high. In my open concept space, this was my backup. So this was the last one that I had in my stash. I'm not sure if it's sold out in the 3-wick. I believe Kringle is getting rid of these designer jars, which is so sad. But hopefully another medium-sized 3-wick jar will be on the horizon for the new year. We'll see what happens. But absolutely enjoyed this. This was a true authentic strawberry saltwater taffy fragrance. Definitely will repurchase it. Another Kringle candle I finished up, Bourbon Bonfire. When I saw this one when it was first released, I fell in love with the scent notes and I was so happy to see it come out in 3-wick format. So I purchased 2 of them. Bourbon Bonfire has notes of Tennessee whiskey, golden age rum, crushed clove, cinnamon sticks, cedarwood, sandalwood, and smoked vanilla bean. This is a nice, sweet, boozy, resinous, woodsy fragrance. I absolutely enjoyed this candle. I would give it a solid 7 as far as strength and throw and performance. No issues with the burn. As always with Kringle, I will say my only gripe with some of the 2-wicks, the 3-wicks, and even the 4-wick that I recently emptied, if the candle burns a little too long as you get close to the end of the candle, the wick clips loosen up. I don't know what type of glue Kringle uses. I don't know if it's because they try to use like non-harsh chemicals, so they use a glue that's not adhesive enough to getting the clips to stay in place in the jar when you're trying to finish out the candle. But what I do is on the last burn, I won't put it in the hurricane. I'll trim my wicks as low as possible without making them too tiny, and then just let it burn slow that way so that it's not burning so hot and the wicks are just drifting all over the place. Open flames, you definitely want to keep your eyes on your candles, so I do check on them. I don't really have to babysit my Kringles, but I do, just out of habit, you know, peek on them every now and then, and I'll notice like one of them is like out of place, and I'll just use a wick dipper and push it back into place. So hopefully Kringle will use a better glue. I know that these 3 wicks are going away because it was more common with the 3 wicks than it was for the 2 wicks for me. And I just burned through my first 4 wick and I noticed it kind of happening. So hopefully they can get a better glue. But other than that, as far as the burn quality, and for the most part, the strength and throw, especially in the 3 wicks, are up to, you know, my liking. So outside of the wick clips loosening, I definitely would repurchase this one. I do have a backup of it. I think this one is in the 4 wick. I really enjoyed this fragrance, so I wouldn't be opposed to buying another one. It's nice, it's cozy, it's warm. You gotta like boozy, woodsy scents though, but this one is amazing. Then we have Art in the Park from Yankee. I was so excited to burn this candle. I love the pink wax color. Art in the Park has notes of top notes, green apple, violet, and water lily. Mid notes of jasmine, rose, and ylang ylang, and a base of sandalwood, cedarwood, and sheer musk. So overall, this was a fruity floral blend. When I first started burning this candle, I would say the first 2 to 3 burns, it gave me a solid 7. I did have it in a hurricane in my bedroom. Then from there, it seemed like the more I burned it, the less strength and throw output I got from it. So I went ahead and just placed this in the crock in my bedroom. When it was all said and done, I would settle this from this level with this entire wax pool being melted, a low medium, and give it more of a background 5 out of 10 for strength and throw being in my crock. I don't know why this happens with Yankee candles, but even if you place it on a bottom warmer, it forms like a hole in the middle when it re-solidifies. I took the clips out because I just didn't feel like the clips needed to be in there, because I know once you melt these in a crock or a warmer, the wick clips loosen up, they shift. So there's no need, you know, you really can't, it's kind of hazardous to burn the candle, but so I just go ahead and pull the clips out and just let the wax just sit in the jar. But really enjoyed this one. I know a lot of people wasn't a fan of Art in the Park because they said it had like a weird like paint note to it, but I mostly got a fruity floral fragrance. So really enjoyed this one. Wish I could have burned through it, but I'm glad I was able to get the last of the fragrance. I think this lasted for about a week longer in my crock. So I'm glad I was able to enjoy this one. I just wish the strength and throw would have been more consistent so I could have finished burning through the entire candle. Another candle I recently finished up, Cemetery Lane. Yes, I started digging into my Halloween candles early. This one, I wish it was stronger. This was a tart, like powdery, musky berry scent, but it was also earthy and woodsy at the same time. So very complex. Definitely gave the vibe of like a dusty, musky, old basement, but in the best way possible. I wish this one would have returned, but after burning through it in its entirety, I did keep this one in a hurricane in my bedroom so I could get it up to at least a 6. And I feel like without the hurricane, it was more of like a 5. So hopefully if this one returns next year, the strength and throw can be like at least a solid 7. That would be perfect, because that means it will handle my open concept and I could put it in my bedroom and have it not be too overwhelming. Cemetery Lane has notes of dark mysterious musk, midnight iris, patchouli, dried oak, creeping moss, dusky cedar, and sweet earth. My first extra large 4 wick from Kringle, Autumn Amber. I heard so many great reviews about this fragrance, so I went ahead and picked it up in the 4 wick while it was on sale for 30% off. Autumn Amber has notes of apple blossom, floral, cedarwood, and pine. And if my camera picks it up, the label is so pretty. No issues with the burn on this candle. And I would say, depending on where I place this one at, the strength and throw range between a 6 to a 7, depending on where I had the candle placed at and if it was in or out of a hurricane. So despite this being a large 4 wick with an extra large opening, this for me was more so a room filler. I enjoyed it in my living room in a hurricane, but I did try it out in my bedroom without the hurricane, and it at least hit a solid 7 for me in the bedroom space. But I wanted this for my open concept, and I did blend it with other fall fragrances when I wasn't enjoying it on its own. So if you like autumn, I know a lot of people compare this one to autumn from Bath and Body Works. You may enjoy this one as well. I do feel like they're in a similar like wheelhouse as far as being apple atmospheric scents, but they are different. So if you like one, I think you'll like the other. And I've seen a lot of people say that they loved autumn, but then when they tried this one from Kringle, they actually preferred autumn amber from Kringle. And the amber, even though it's not listed in the scent notes, I feel like it's a resinous amber note in there, like a sweet resinous amber note that pairs nicely with the cedarwood note. I did a dedicated review of it on my channel, so if you want to check it out, feel free. But this one, I have a lot of fall candles. I'm not going to repurchase it this year, but if this is still around next year, I would absolutely repurchase it. Sunset Sands was gifted to me from Katie over at Katie's Joyful Life. She knew that I liked sunscreen beachy scents. So when she was decluttering a few of the candles she had in her stash, she sent this one as an extra. Now this one I ended up crocking because I was kind of over burning through like beachy sunscreen. I think the last beachy sunscreen scent I burned through was Life's the Beach from Kringle in the 3-wick. So this was very enjoyable. I had it in my kitchen in my candle crock, and this was the candle that I featured in my candle crock video. So if you guys want to check that out, I will link it in the description box below. But this was strong. So sometimes it depends on the strength of the fragrance overall, how it will perform in a crock. Sometimes the crock having that whole amount of wax liquefied will give a better strength and throw output, but so far in my experience, it depends on the strength of the candle itself. And this one must have been a strong one because for the first, I want to say 3 to 4 days, this was in my kitchen and I could smell this upstairs in my hallway. So it had a high strength and throw. And then as the days went on, I think I had this in my crock for at least 2 weeks. The scent diminished, it filled my open concept, then it went to just being room filling to where it was unscented after 2 weeks. I don't have the scent notes for Sunset Sands, but from what I got from it to my nose, it was just a beachy sunscreen type of scent. So you would have to like those type of scents. I know these country candle jars are going away. I was never a fan of the classic apothecary jar style, so I never got into country candle, but it was nice to experience this candle in my crock, in my kitchen, while it was still giving summer vibes, but it was actually fall. So I really enjoyed this one. If Kringle were to transition this scent over to, you know, from the country line to the Kringle line, then I would consider repurchasing it. Then we have Jelly Donut. You guys, this candle is amazing. I am so glad I purchased it and tried it out, even though I do feel like the berry pastry scents can be a little redundant. So this wasn't something that was like groundbreaking, but the strength and throw and the authenticity of the fragrance is not heavy on the fried dough pastry note. It's some bakery accord in the background. You get more of the jammy jelly note, the jammy jelly berry note, more so at the forefront. When I first started burning this and I reviewed it, I gave it a high 8.5. The more I burnt this candle, I kid you not, this hit 9 to 10 like powerhouse territory. There were times I had this in my kitchen, no hurricane, and I could smell it upstairs in my bedroom. This I could burn because it didn't burn hot and fast and still managed to have a strong strength and throw. I could burn this from sun up to sundown, of course, keeping an eye on it throughout the day. And this never smelled burnt. It never smelled scorched. The wax never discolored. Nothing crazy ever happened. Just popping the lid off, I could still smell this fragrance. This is available, I think, in the 4-wick. If it did not sell out, I cannot imagine. That strength and throw is probably like DEFCON 12 out of 10. I'm content with the 2-wick. I'm glad I have a backup of it. If you like berry, jammy, gourmand scents, I highly recommend giving this one a try. Some people wasn't, you know, thrilled with it. And then some people just absolutely love it. And the fact that you could burn it for so long and it has a decent strength and throw without burning hot and fast and getting sooty or smelling scorched or burnt is chef's kiss in my book. So if you want something like this that's you gonna burn it and you smell it in your hoodie when you walk out your house, like I'm telling you, I am not exaggerating. This is not often that I'm giving candles a powerhouse strength and throw lately. So Definitely pick up Jelly Donut if you're interested in it. Another candle that I absolutely loved, Tea Time. This, if you love fresh, green, grassy, earthy, outdoorsy fragrances, this candle was amazing. I didn't even bother burning this in my open concept because I just absolutely loved it in my bedroom space. Strength and Throw was a solid 7 to 7.5. Filled my bedroom, and if my door was open, it traveled out into my hallway area. I think I got a little bit of soot towards the end of the burn. These candles do, as you burn them further down, they do act as a hurricane. So it could have been that I had mushroom tops and didn't catch it while the candle was finishing out, so some soot got in my wax pool. But if you stick to the 3 to 4 hour burn time, you should be fine. I'm spoiled with Kringle, so if I see mushroom tops and I'm still enjoying the candle and it's burning clean, I will dip my wicks, give the mushroom tops a trim, and relight my candle and at least burn it for 4 to 5, sometimes 6 hours. I'm not telling y'all to do that. That's just what I do, because if it's a scent I really love, I love with Kringle, I can burn the candle for more than 2 to 3 hours and still be able to enjoy the fragrance. So if you did not pick up Tea Time and it's still available, I highly recommend it, and this is one that I would definitely repurchase. Another large candle I managed to make it through, Golden Autumn from Yankee. I love this fragrance so much that I have it in the large 18-ounce 3-wick, so I'll be burning through that one again and revisiting the fragrance. I believe this one was between a 6 to a 7 in a hurricane in my bedroom. No wax discoloration, just a little bit of soot. Again, these tumbler jars, the further down you burn them, they act as a hurricane sometimes, but it's not terrible as far as the soot. Even though this is clip art, I love the sunflowers and how it went with the yellow wax color. And this was pretty much a perfumey floral scent. It almost reminded me of Soft Wool and Amber if you took the linen note out of that. So really enjoyed this one. Yeah, and it wasn't an overpowering, like, perfumey floral, and it wasn't too mature leaning. It wasn't like super powdery. So I'm glad I have it in the large 18-ounce 3-wick to enjoy one more time, because this fragrance has been discontinued. And then I burnt through Apple Pumpkin, another large 18-ounce 3-wick candle from Yankee. I wish they would have kept these 18-ounce large 3-wicks around. I don't have the scent notes for this, but this was pretty much apple blended with pumpkin spice, and I got 50-50 with this one. This one smelled nice and authentic. I prefer Apple Pumpkin from Yankee over BBW's Pumpkin Apple. Nice clean burn on this one. No soot, no discoloration with the wax. Solid, I would get this a 7. I did keep this in a hurricane because from the first burn and every burn thereafter, this candle just kept, the wicks just kept self-trimming. No matter how many times I cotton balled it and relit it. And I don't have a crock or hurricane big enough. Not a hurricane. I don't have a crock or a warmer big enough to put this in. So I just cotton balled it. I didn't trim the wicks. I would light it and then just let it burn in a hurricane where it could keep a consistent wax pool and a nice flame height to where I could get through this candle. I love the fragrance so much I put up with it. But now that these 18-ounce 3-wicks have gone away, I don't know if the 14.5-ounce 3-wicks burn a little better with the pulling out. And I believe this one is in the new formulation of the large 2-wick tumbler. So highly recommend Apple Pumpkin if you want a nice apple pumpkin spice blended fragrance. Then we have Desert Oud from Kringle. Now, when I had this for the first time in the medium 2-wick jar, it was a dud. It was scentless. That was back in 2022. So when I saw it come out in a 3-wick, I wanted to give it another try. In my bedroom in a hurricane, at first, this was a 7. The more I burned it, Strength and Throw diminished to about low medium. From what I got from the fragrance, it was a sweet, woodsy fragrance, but it didn't lean masculine, and instead it leaned a little more feminine. Desert Oud has notes of oud, bergamot, cardamom, jasmine, incense, guaiac wood, vetiver, and cedarwood. Yeah, so you would think this would kind of come off masculine cologne-y. I wouldn't say it's perfumey, but I guess the floral note in there, the jasmine, it wasn't heavy on the vetiver. Definitely get not heavy on the guaiac wood either, because when I think guaiac wood is like a form of oud. It's like a dry, sweet I guess, floral, woodsy scent. Because I don't want to say perfumey, because it didn't come off perfumey. Wasn't heavy on the bergamot or the cardamom. And I really didn't get an incensey vibe from it. This one was interesting. It wasn't that interesting. Like, had the strength and throw been more consistent to where I could fully enjoy it, I probably would have considered repurchasing it. I don't know if it's sold out now. This one I would say is a one and done. I enjoyed it for what it was. I liked it, didn't love it. So this one, if it did come out in a 4-wick, I would probably pass on this one. Then we have Lavender Sugar. I love this candle. Now this one did come with a wraparound label. I think Blueberry Cake Donut and the Banana Pudding Candle, if you saw it leaked on YouTube anywhere, I believe Virgil was the first one that noticed that his Trick or Treat in the like classic labeling had a double label, and he peeled the wraparound label off and it had the sticker label. Now I will say, when I had the label on, this one burned slower, and when I took it off, it seemed to burn hotter. Not too hot to where I couldn't burn it for a full 3 hours, but it definitely burned hotter and faster without the wraparound label. So I don't know if that's why Goose Creek decided to slap the label on there, but I feel like all of the ones in this collection possibly have a double wraparound. So you can check it as you burn the candle down. You'll see where it's a square inside. And you'll know if it's another label under there before you just pull your label off. But this one, I loved it. Strength and throw was a solid 7 to a 7.5 in my bedroom. Every time I lit it, I got an automatic strength and throw from it. It wasn't overwhelming. Scent notes for Lavender Sugar are sugared lavender, buttery shortbread, and lemon glaze. And I had no issues with the burn. Not a ton of soot on the jar and no wax discoloration. Next up, we have Herbal Tea from Kringle. Now, this fragrance I absolutely love. This was a nice lemon tea fragrance. When my wicks weren't puny, the strength and throw was high. I would give it an 8 in my open concept. I had to keep it in the hurricane because my wicks just kept self-trimming. I got tired of cotton balling it. This one I could fit on a warmer, so I went ahead and just tossed the rest of it on my warmer and finished out the fragrance, where I think I got at least 2 weeks out of this one on my candle warmer. I wouldn't recommend it in the 3-wick just because it had wick performance issues, but I believe this one may be available in the 2-wick, and it might be available in the large 4-wick if it didn't sell out. Herbal tea has notes of tea, lemon, jasmine, verbena, musk, and sage. So if you like a nice authentic lemon tea fragrance that doesn't smell like it has a powderiness or a cologne undertone to it, then I highly recommend Herbal Tea from Kringle. Finally decided to burn through my Cozy Cashmere from Bath & Body Works. This performed at a solid 7 in my bedroom space. Cozy Cashmere has notes of smooth lavender, warm vanilla, pink jasmine, and comfort and sandalwood. I had no issues with the burn except towards the end the wicks drifted a little bit. And it's so funny because I never picked up on this smelling like a sunscreen fragrance until I started seeing other people say it gave off a sunscreen vibe. So I wouldn't say it's beachy sunscreen to a T, but I could see where people get that from. And it could be the sandalwood mixing with the jasmine, or it could be that this is more of a orange blossom than a jasmine note in here, but it's not a heavy sunscreen scent. And the cozy vanilla note with the lavender does give it, and that creamy sandalwood does give it like a cashmere vibe, but then it does have like this undertone of sunscreen. So I still love Cozy Cashmere. I get at least one every year, but since I had this one, I just went ahead and pulled this one out and burnt through this one and enjoyed it. I'm kind of iffy with certain things, like just buying a ton of Bath & Body Works candles. So far I've been having pretty good luck with their candle performance. Not as far as strength and throw, but like cleanliness of burn. I don't think I had too many that burnt too hot and fast from Bath & Body Works lately, but I haven't purchased a lot of Bath & Body Works like I normally do. And a big part of that is because I had a lot of stuff that I really didn't need to rebuy stuff. And if some new stuff didn't appeal to me, I just didn't buy it. So Cozy Cashmere is one that I usually get every year. I'll see how I feel next fall when this one comes out, if I want to pick it up again. But I do enjoy the fragrance. Stories by the Campfire from Goose Creek. This is from the first Wilderness Adventure release that they had, I want to say maybe 2 years ago. This was before Goose Creek was putting scent notes under the candle, so I don't have the scent notes, but this was a woodsy marshmallow scent. I would give this one, it started a little light, and at first it just smelled like a sweet marshmallow. I was like, oh, this is going to be basic. I'm going to just toss it. Now that I got this crock, I'm like putting everything in a crock. I'm like, oh, it's going on a crock. But I kept burning it and giving it a chance because it was performing good. I didn't have a whole lot of soot and no wax discoloration really with this one. And the more I burnt it, that woodsy note came out. And it wasn't smoky, but it almost had like a soft, it was like a soft, sweet, smoldering wood type of scent. So at first I thought this was just going to be like a repackage of their marshmallows candle, just basic, but no. This one actually had a nice woodsy presence to it, so I really enjoyed this one. I got a lot of marshmallow and vanilla stuff that I'm in, cashmere stuff, so this one I don't think it came back as anything else, but I did really enjoy this candle, and I'm glad I gave it a chance and kept burning it and didn't give up on it because the strength and throw increased, and I ended up liking the fragrance the more I burnt through the candle. Pink Grapefruit from Kringle. Love, love, love this one. I think aside from Volcanic Sunrise from Goose Creek, this is like my favorite. This is a very good grapefruit fragrance. If you love grapefruit scents, you gotta be into grapefruit. I know for some people it could come off cat urine like or real tart or acidic, but this one was really nice, and it had a high strength and throw, so I could burn this candle after or while I was cooking food that had strong like food odors, and this took care of it. And it was times I just lit it just because I wanted to enjoy the fragrance. So I think with this one I did get some soot towards the last burn. This is my second one. My first one didn't burn like this, but it probably was just me letting it burn and finish where it got like that. But it's no soot on the jar. The jar is nice and clean, just a little bit in the wax pool. I hope Kringle brings this one back because I don't think this was in the 2-wick or the country line, and I haven't seen it in the 4-wick, but they should bring this one back because this is a really nice authentic pink grapefruit scent, and it had a very good strip and throw in my open concept space. If it comes back, I would definitely repurchase it. Honeybee Tea from Yankee. Out of this Into the Garden collection, this was the top performer for me in strength and throw. So it had a high strength and throw, beautiful burn, no wax discoloration, no soot. And the label was cute. I know a lot of people wasn't a fan of this one because it did have like a mentholated with the honey and the lemon kind of like cough drop vibe to it on cold. But when you burn it, to me, it got better. Like that cough drop note dissipated and you really got a nice, warm, sweet honey lemon tea fragrance. So I burnt this and reviewed it at the halfway point, and then I stopped burning it until we got closer to like mid-September, and then I went ahead and finished it out. So I enjoyed it more as we got closer into the fall weather versus this being like a nice, fresh, sweet lemon tea fragrance that would be, you know, more enjoyable in the spring and the summer. So if you still have this one and you haven't burnt it yet, this is going to be great for the cooler fall months and even in the winter time. So Honeybee Tea, Yankee probably won't bring it back, and I think it's no longer available. But if you did purchase it and you didn't burn it yet, I highly recommend burning this one soon so you can see how it is with the cooler weather coming up. But this one, I liked it, didn't love it. So this one would be a one-time purchase for me, but I did enjoy it. Love You Like a Lollipop from Goose Creek. This is my second one, so this is the last one. If I had space, I swear I would have hoarded this because this was a nice, even though it was a candied watermelon scent, it was an authentic candied watermelon scent, if that makes sense. It didn't smell like waxy or fake. It smelled so juicy, sweet, and candy-like. High strength and throw on every burn. Didn't get too much soot in the jar. Did I get any? Maybe just a little bit. Not much. And not a ton of wax discoloration. Yeah, I would definitely place this in the 8 to 9 range. This was amazing. I hope Goose Creek brings this one back. Even if they gotta rename it, repackage it. This one I think does have the scent notes. strawberry lollipops, watermelon hard candy, and Cupid sugar. This was amazing. I'm glad to have had 2 of these to burn through, and I'm glad I saved my backup for late summer when it was still hot outside and I wasn't quite ready to burn fall fragrances. Spiced apple from Kringle. I enjoyed this one. I will place this at a solid 7 in my open concept space. This was more of, it gave me like an apple pie filling vibe. No crust note, so it wasn't like bakery gourmand, but still edible. Spiced apple has notes of spiced apple, cedarwood, cinnamon, green pear, musk, and tonka bean. Don't pay the musk and cedarwood any mind. Now, this one again, I was burning it long, so my wax got a little bit of soot in there. But overall, no soot collected on the jar. Really enjoyed this one. If this one comes back in the Kringle lineup next fall, I would definitely repurchase it. It never smelled burnt or scorched or weird or off-putting or anything. The apple note was nicely done with the spices. So I think this one might be in a 2-wick. I'm not sure how the strength and throw is on that one. It could be in the 4-wick, but if you like spiced apple fragrances, I highly recommend this one. Cranberry shortbread from Goose Creek was a letdown for me fragrance-wise because it was just another berry bakery gourmand scent. I was hoping that this would have pulled more on like an actual authentic like cranberry, like jammy cranberry with an actual shortbread note like the one in lavender sugar, but it did not. The notes for cranberry shortbread are dried cranberries, powdered sugar, and buttery shortbread. Strength and throw was like a 6.5. Mostly filled the room it was placed in. I ended up tossing this on my warmer because if you watched my review, this one, the wicks aren't super thick, but for some reason this burned hot, fast, and sooty for me, and I didn't want to just keep burning it. This one I could only burn for 2 hours, and sometimes if I'm busy, I don't have time to light a candle. 2 hours flies by like that. So sometimes with these hot, fast burners, I just don't be feeling like constantly checking on it every half an hour, or I'll set a timer to remind myself to turn it off, but then it's like I just lit you. So yeah, this one I was like, we just gonna put it on a warmer, let it do its thing. I think this lasted about a week. I would say like a week on my warmer, and then the fragrance started to smell a little off and waxy, so I took it off. But this candle, one and done for me. I really enjoyed Marshmallow Candy Apple. I'm so glad I went back and got this one, because first from the label I passed on it because I was like, ooh, that is gonna be too sweet with marshmallow and caramel and apple. You don't really get caramel, and to my nose it leans more pear than apple with the marshmallow. So it was nice. I would say strength and throw was a 7 to a 7.5. And believe it or not, I ended up putting this one in my bedroom to finish enjoying, because I think I was burning other stuff in my open concept. So I ended up taking this up into my bedroom space. This one started out burning hot and fast, but it didn't get any soot in the jar. It didn't discolor the wax too much, if at all. Not really. It did, but not bad. Not to where it was super murky and it tarnished the fragrance. When it got to the halfway point, it self-corrected and it didn't burn as hot and fast as the beginning of the candle. I did enjoy this one. If it comes back, I will repurchase it, but I'm kind of trying to burn through all the apple scents I have now and move on, so I wouldn't repurchase this one this year, but I did enjoy it enough to want it again next year if it returns. Then we have Toasted Pistachio Muffin from the coffee line that was released, like a coffee shop collection was released during, I don't know if it was late spring or like early summer. This one was a strong medium to high performer for me in my open concept, despite it being a slow burner. Towards the end, it got a little weird. From like the halfway point, you could see like the wick residue and some soot collected in there. I like this one. I didn't love it, so I wouldn't repurchase it. I think I enjoyed their Luscious Pistachio more. And I can't remember if it was another pistachio scent. Like, so many pistachio fragrances was getting released, but this one was more so a like than a love. And I think it smells a little sooty now, but when I was burning this, I think it had some type of spice note in there too. So I don't even know if this one is still available. I recommend it if you like pistachio gourmand scents, because this definitely was pistachio gourmand. It didn't smell like body care leaning or perfumey in any way, so it lived up to its name. I think it was just the super slow burn with it that I was like getting over the scent, but I did enjoy it for what it was. Dun 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 dun! I did it, y'all. Mr. Krabs. I finished my Mr. Krabs candle. The only person that didn't mind this other than me was my middle child, Autumn. And that's because she likes the smell of French fries and chicken nuggets. So anytime I was making chicken nuggets or French fries in the air fryer, I lit Mr. Krabs. Now, I know not everybody was a fan on this one. With this one, I know everybody didn't like it. On cold, I did not like it when I first smelt it. But once I burnt it to like do the review, it was authentic to being a fast food, like starchy, salty potato fragrance. Now, I'm not a savory gourmand lover, so it was times I did like this for fun, like just to be like, let me just like Mr. Krabs and show him some love. I mostly lit it though when I was making some type of burgers or something like fast food like. So it was fun for that. Now the strength and throw, high. I think that I get this at 8. I just put high in an open concept. I might have gave this an 8 to an 8.5, but this literally borderline was touching powerhouse because I could like this in my open concept and have my bedroom door shut and the fragrance would travel underneath the door. And I would be like, why am I smelling French fries? And totally forget that I had this lit. So not forget like, you know, just letting it burn too long, but just didn't realize like, oh yeah, I got this Mr. Krabs lit downstairs. And that pink grapefruit candle, I always chased it after this one to get rid of the food smell. Like this had an authentic cooked like fried food, but not super greasy and oily, not to my nose, but some people did get that. I only had one more. I really enjoyed the SpongeBob collection. It was a fun collection to release for the summer. Sandy Cheeks I have over there across from me on my candle shelf on my little squirrel holder. And I think I'm almost halfway through that one. So that's the last one of the SpongeBob collection I got to burn through. And it gave me fall vibes. So I saved it for fall on purpose after I reviewed it. This one didn't give me too many issues. The wax didn't discolor. Like most of these candles, if not all of them, performed pretty well as far as the burn quality for me. I think Patrick was the only one that kind of struggled with the wick performance a little bit. And I had to cotton ball it once or twice, but it self-corrected. But I enjoyed Mr. Krabs for what he was. This was a very interesting outside of the box scent. And I'm glad Goose Creek stepped outside the box and tried something different. I know Kent designed this fragrance, so shout out to Kent for making this one because I did enjoy it. Me and my middle child did enjoy this one at least. So if you have it for collection purposes, I get it. But if you know, dare to light it up, just be prepared because it's strong as hell. So really enjoyed Mr. Krabs from the SpongeBob collection. And another SpongeBob SquarePants candle, Squidward. Absolutely love this one in my bedroom. The scent note for Squidward tentacles are fresh cucumbers, relaxing mint, cooling eucalyptus, and green honeydew. And this lives up to Squidward's whole vibe. Like I feel like the fragrances all fit the characters from the SpongeBob show. So I'm Team Squidward. I want to be unbothered. I want peace. I want to relax. So that is most of the times that I lit this. It was more of a like relaxing, trying to like unwind type of vibe. I believe the strength and throw on this was a 7. Yeah, I gave it a 7. I gave it a 7.5 in my bedroom, and that's because it traveled out into my hallway. Clean burn on this one. No issues with soot or wax discoloration. And yeah, this was a nice, fresh spa-like scent. So if you like those type of fragrances, Squidward would have definitely fit your vibe. Finally burned through my Wicked Vanilla Woods from last year with the snake lid. This one got up to, I want to say a 6 in my bedroom. So it wasn't the strongest. If you are familiar with Wicked Vanilla Woods, it's a body care scent and Bath and Body Works gave it to us in candle form. I love Wicked Vanilla Woods. Wicked Vanilla Woods has notes of magical vanilla, glowing amber wood, and enchanted pink pepper. And this one burned nice and clean with no issues. I did buy this year's version, but I haven't lit it yet. Don't know if I'm going to save it or burn through it later, but This is a nice perfumey, peppery vanilla. I feel like when I first started burning this, it was a 7, but the more I burned it, I noticed it kind of lightened up a tad bit. So I would just settle at it being a 6 in a closed concept. Love Wicked Vanilla Woods and glad that it came back again this year in candle form. Moonlit Slow Dance from Goose Creek. I love this candle. Solid 7 strength and throw in my bedroom. I'm so happy this came back. Because again, this is from the first Wilderness collection from like 2 years ago. And this is a great, if you love boozy fragrances, this is a good one to get. Now, towards the end, I did get some soot and a little bit of wick particle in my wax pool, but smells so good. I purchased 2 more of these, y'all, in the new packaging from this fall, and I wish I could get a crate of it, but I don't have space. I don't even know if I want to burn through another one of these just yet, but absolutely love Moonlit Slow Dance. Highly, 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 highly recommend this one, but you gotta like boozy scents, because if you don't, you're not going to enjoy it. I'm so glad they brought this one back. If it's still around, I think it's still on the site. I'm on a kind of no buy, low buy, more so no buy. But if I can get my hands on it before it sells out, I will. But I am happy to have the 2 that I do have. And hopefully it'll be popular and Goose Creek will bring it back again next year. We're just going to go ahead and get these 2 out the way together. What's this? Croissant, chestnut glazed croissant and pumpkin cold foam. What did I write on my list? Because I don't remember. 6.5, 7 in an open concept. And I think this one was like a 5, maybe a 6 in my hurricane. I blended these 2. This one was just vanilla. I didn't get, I put 5, 6 with a hurricane. Frothy cold foam, pumpkin spice sprinkles, vanilla syrup. This was just vanilla syrup with a slight undertone of pumpkin spice. And chestnut glazed croissant, flaky croissant, chestnut glaze, sprinkle of sugar crystals, heavy on the chestnut glaze. I got some of the bready croissant, but one and done. I think I said that in my reviews and when I cold sniffed both of these. I'm surprised this one did at least a 6 in my living room in a hurricane, because on cold it was light. This one was more of a strong medium in my open concept. So I got through them. I burned through them with the quickness because I wasn't absolutely in love with the basicness of this scent. And then this one on cold, I didn't like it. I liked it better burning, but not enough to where if either of these 2 return, I'm repurchasing them. Total one and done for me. Down to my last crate of 6, Lavender Snowfall. Now this I pulled out for like relaxation vibes. This is lavender, spa-like lavender with peppermint note, like a fresh, I want to say it's sweet peppermint, but I want to say it's more of like a fresh peppermint and I want to say herbal, but spa like lavender, not a floral lavender. You gotta like spa lavender and fresh peppermint to get into this one. I can't remember if this one was kind of sweet though. Scent notes: lavender, falling snow, peppermint, and woods. Strong medium to high strength and throw. I started liking this because I was burning a lot. I was reviewing Bath and Body Works back to back. And it was some things that like really underperformed. Like I think I actually took one back. Autumn Evening, I kept Vanilla Noir because I liked the scent. Even though the strength and throw maxed out at a 4 in a hurricane in my bedroom. Without, it was a 3. Football Season was scentless in my open concept, but it was a 6 in my bedroom. So that one was okay. And I think it was something else that Harvest Hayride was like a 6 in my bedroom. It was just stuff I was like, whoa, let me make sure I'm not losing my sense of smell. So I lit this baby up. And every time I burned her, she did what she needed to do to let me know, no, girl, you good. You're not losing your sense of smell. It's just these candles and the way they performing. So I have 2 more of this one in my stash. I've been purchasing Lavender Snowfall since it's been out. And I'm so glad that Goose Creek continues to bring it back. This one, the burn was good. No issues with soot or wax discoloration. The purple wax. If this one comes back, I'm not sure. It depends on what happens with my other 2. because I feel like I could burn those two and be good until next winter, because I'm trying to get better with the amount of purchasing I'm doing with candles, y'all. But highly recommend this one. If you never tried it and it comes back this year, definitely pick it up. Honeycrisp Hayride. I think I might have accidentally called this Harvest Hayride, but 6 in my bedroom, 7 in a hurricane. I expected this to be more of a outdoorsy apple fragrance, and I got cologne with apple. So while I don't mind cologne fragrances, when I see something called Honeycrisp Hayride and I see notes of beautiful weekend full of Honeycrisp apples and crisp autumn leaves, I want the earthiness of the autumn leaves with the Honeycrisp apple, but not so much to where it smells like leaves, which we already have. Which I think that has spice and like a nectar note, so it's super sweet. So I feel like Bath & Body Works could have did a little bit better with this fragrance by not making it lean cologne-y, masculine. It could have still had like a masculine appeal to it, but just been more of an outdoorsy nature apple smell. So one and done, wouldn't repurchase. And I guess because for the most part I kept mine in a hurricane. I know some people said they had issues where at the midpoint the wicks got puny. Mine didn't do that. It burnt clean. And I kept it in a hurricane in my bedroom so I could get a solid 7 out of it. But other than that, I see some people that really love this one. I didn't hate it, but I didn't fall absolutely head over heels for it. So one and done. Absolutely loved Beach House. Don't know why I didn't snag one more before it sold out. I think I was trying to behave. Strength and Throw was a strong medium, 7 to 7.5 in my bedroom space. That is where I enjoyed this candle the most. Beach House has notes of summer apricot, coastal citrus, and beach grass. And this is a beautiful fruity apricot. That's not too heavy on the grassy notes. It gives a beachy, like fruity beachy vibe without being like sunscreen-like. This one, I think I was able to snag 2 more summer verandas. And I think I got 1 more beachside blanket, I think it was called. And I think I got 2 or 3 Sunday resets, because those really surprised me. Even though summer veranda started off a little light, the more I burned it, it picked up and it was beautiful in my bedroom and I fell in love with the fragrance. So this is the only one I didn't get a chance to get. So if this one comes back next summer, I would definitely repurchase it. Slight wax discoloration, nothing major. No soot on the jar. Burnt nice for me. So I would definitely repurchase this one if it returns next year. I already finished number 42, so I went ahead and finished number 33, and I have a backup of each of those in this original. I didn't get Vintage Memories or the Espresso Lemon Twist because I had these already. This was about a 6.5 in my open concept, solid 7 in my closed concept. Number 33 has notes of espresso beans, warm vanilla, and lemon peel. And other than some slight wax discoloration, this one burned pretty good for the most part. So I didn't really have any issues with soot or burning too hot and fast. I can't remember if number 42 burned a little hotter and faster than this one. But either way, I enjoyed both of them when they first came out. So I backed them up. And if they return next year and I'm still buying a lot of, well, not a lot, but purchasing Bath & Body Works, they may be ones that I purchase again depending on how I feel when I burn through the other 2 that I have already. I started off my kids going back to school in my fall fragrance with Macintosh Apple from Goose Creek. Never had this one before. I did try Yankees and enjoyed it, so I wanted to try Goose Creek's this year. Strength and Throw was between an 8.5 to 9. This was a high Strength and Throw candle. Really enjoyed this one. Nice, fresh Macintosh Apple scent. Scent notes are juicy red apple, green leaves, and orchard wood. So a nice basic apple. And for the most part, this burnt beautiful. No issues with soot, hot, fast burn, no crazy wax discoloration. So I don't know. I'll be seeing some people having a lot of issues with their Goose Creeks. I don't know if it's because I keep most of mine in a hurricane, because I do have a drafty house, and during the summer I do run my AC and ceiling fans is on. So I try to protect the candle from as much draft as possible. I don't know if that is why I'm getting cleaner burns than a lot of other people, but I don't have tons of issues with Goose Creek. So that's why I continue to purchase them and I buy so many. But If you haven't tried Macintosh apple and you want a nice, fresh, crisp apple scent with no bakery notes and no spice, then I highly recommend this one. And last but not least, we have Crunchy Leaves in this beautiful brown and gold wraparound label that I ended up snagging last year, I think when it went on clearance, and I held on to it for this fall. Really enjoyed this one more than I thought I would. Strength and Throw was a solid 7 in my open concept space. And again, not a ton of issues. I think my wicks maybe drifted apart a little bit towards the end of the burn. Like, I don't be wanting to just put the, but I be wanting y'all to see, like, no soot, not a bunch of wax discoloration. And this was a nice leaf scent: autumn leaves, cinnamon, currant, tangerine, and cedarwood. Doesn't smell like leaves from Bath and Body Works. I really enjoyed this fragrance blend. I think it's still available, and I did do a dedicated review of it here on the channel if you want to check it out. But if you want a nice leaf, fall leaf fragrance with a little bit of a twist to it, then I highly recommend Crunchy Leaves. That is it, you guys. That concludes my September empties. I know it was a lot. This was a long video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And as the title, it is bittersweet. This will be my last YouTube video for the remainder of the year. I'm a busy mom. I work full time. I'm in school, and I'm doing an accelerated program where my courses are 5 weeks long. So I'm cramming in a full semester, like 12 weeks worth of schoolwork in 5 weeks. And when I'm on that 5th week and that class ends, I literally start the next class the next day. These classes I'm going higher up in my cybersecurity core classes, so they're getting a little bit more demanding with the schoolwork. And on top of that, because I passed my Cyber 110 class, I am eligible for a voucher to sit and take the CSCU, what is it called? CSCU certification exam, which is a 50-question multiple choice exam where I can get my certification. And I want to get that along with my degree, which means I cannot be distracted. I really have to buckle down and study, and YouTube, unfortunately, is going to have to take a back seat, and probably even my Instagram. I really got to get locked in, y'all, and study. So that is why I am stepping away from YouTube. And I know I said it back in March or April when I filmed the video, but I was really trying because I really do enjoy my YouTube channel as a hobby. It's something fun. I like to come on the platform in the fragrance community and share my opinions and thoughts with you all about new releases and, you know, stuff that comes out from different brands. But my channel, with it not growing as much as I would like it to and having so much other stuff to focus on, I just decided it's time to take a break. Hopefully this won't be goodbye forever. I will leave my channel up because I feel like I do still have some relevant content for people who may still be shopping for fall and Halloween candles. I know a lot of Halloween stuff sold out, but thanks for all the support, you guys. For those who stuck with me from my first YouTube channel to me restarting and revamping this YouTube channel, I appreciate it more than you know. Anytime you guys leave a comment, I respond to everybody. Anytime you guys thumbs up a video and like it, and even if you rock with me and you subscribe to my channel because you genuinely enjoy my content, I appreciate it more than you know. So with that being said, you guys, take care, and I hope you guys enjoy the fall season, the winter holiday season, and all the holidays that are coming upon us if you guys partake and celebrate. Bye, guys.